Never have I been so pleased to say that a movie exceeded my expectations more and blew them out of the water than this film. How delightful. Paddington 2, released in 2017, and is directed by Paul King, who's also directed such films like Bunny and the Bull and The First Paddington. And this film has a delightful cast of Ben Whishaw as the voice of Paddington, Hugh Bonneville, Sally Hawkins, Brendan Gleeson, Madeline Harris, Samuel Jocelyn, and Hugh Grant as the villainous Phoenix Buchanan. And I am reviewing this film because it was a PayPal donation from, of course, Mr. and Mrs. Rusted Beetle. They are the kings and queens of the whole donate option that is available on the main page of my YouTube channel. So if you want to dethrone them as the PayPal king and queen, or if you want me to bypass the whole random generator selection for all of the recommendations that I've received from all my subscribers, you can make a PayPal donation there, attach your movie with it, and if I have access to it, I will watch it and get my review of it done as quickly as I possibly can, and not schedule it out over several months. So if you can't wait that long, go ahead and make that donation. And I'm so happy that I opened this channel up to the idea of taking recommendations from fans and subscribers, because I eventually would have gotten around to watching the Paddington films. I know I would have, but probably several years down the line, because this is 3 years old, and I remember hearing great things about it then. I just never got around to watching it. Finally checking it out, and I've never been happier. Paddington is getting used to his new life in London with the Browns, and he has a spark of inspiration and joy wherever he goes in the city. And as a birthday present to his Aunt Lucy, who sent him to London in the first place, he looks for several jobs in order to save up enough money to buy a very rare and special pop-up book at the antique shop. But Paddington is thrown for theft when the pop-up book comes up missing, because it is stolen by the villainous Phoenix Buchanan, who wants the pop-up book because it holds special clues in order to find a hidden treasure. So like I said before, I've never watched this film before, and I hadn't actually seen the very first Paddington either until this viewing. And thank God I did, because there would have been little tiny quirks and little tiny details that I would have missed out on from not watching the first one, just kind of diving into this one. I never grew up with Paddington. I remember seeing covers of the bear on, kids' books growing up in the library and bookstores, but I never read those books. I was always a Dr. Seuss guy or a Curious George guy. I never read Paddington. I wish I had, though, because I feel like I would have been a much better person, as I feel that I am now, by watching these movies. This bear is so charming and so delightful, an inspiration to you as a person of how to be just good in every sense of the word. He always has a positive outlook on life, on any situation that he is in. He gets shipped off to prison in this film, for God's sakes, and he makes the most out of it. What a great, fantastic character for children to read as they're growing up. I wish I had that in my life. And the film falls in line with a whole bunch of other children book adaptations or children cartoon adaptations where the cartoon central figure is placed into a realistic 3D world. So we have this CGI creature or creatures interacting with all of these real humans. And typically when those films come out, I stay away from them because they're not that good. You got the Smurfs, you got Garfield, you got Stuart Little. All of them leave a lot to be desired. So that was some hesitation when I went into the very first Paddington, but the way this character is written, his positive attitude, and all of the situations that he gets himself into, I have a smile on my face. And I care so much about this character. That is the sign of great writing. No matter what happens to this character or what situation that they're in, even if it is a predictable plot, which this movie really is. I mean, the ending of it you can kind of see coming a mile away, but because this character is written so well, you care for him. So when he gets into all these dark despair situations, there are points in this movie where they have you convinced that this bear is dying. And he's gonna die. In the back of your mind, you go, this is a kid's movie. There's no way in hell that they're gonna do that. But you care so much about the bear and the situation that he is in, you go, oh my God, they're gonna do it. Don't do it. You better not do it. And you have those situations in both Paddington films. I was so delighted when I watched the very first Paddington that when I put in Paddington 2, I was thinking to myself, there's no way that this sequel can top that one, because that one was so to me at least, it was so original and so happy and joyful, and it had a satisfying story and a satisfying villain in Nicole Kidman. There's no way that this movie can top it. It matches it and surpasses it tremendously. This will be making my top 10 favorite films that I've reviewed this year. Absolutely. And shockingly, it's here at the end of the year. I kind of had my list all set. This one just kind of blew it up a little bit because they took the villain in the first film, Nicole Kidman, and basically made her less than. Even though she was great in that movie, here we have Hugh Grant, who is a schizophrenic, theater-obsessed, role-acting-obsessed actor. Not the first time that Hugh Grant has popped up on my channel this year, actually. And I always associate him with those British romance films that I never really got the concept of what makes Hugh Grant so charming and so debonair that everyone throws themselves at him. Well, after watching this movie, I finally get it. He is cunning, he is charming, he is a great villain through and through. It's one of the best roles he's ever played. Brendan Gleeson shows up as Knuckles, who's like the king of all the prisoners in the prison that Paddington goes to. Prison. Of all the films for him to show up in, I would expect this one to be the least of that list, but Brendan Gleeson, he's such a supporting actor. He's almost in every single film that you have ever seen as a supporting side character. And here he does a tremendous job with supporting this plot and just playing off of this CGI creature Paddington. This movie is perfect. It is a perfectly made film. And I hate using the P word like that, saying that a movie is perfect, because, you know, I'm a perfectionist. I always strive to find something that's better, or at least strive to reach something that I would consider to be perfection. This film, it is perfection. All because I care so much about this little CGI bear. He's like a bear version of Charlie Chaplin. The situation that he gets into, if there were any other character or any script that was not written as well as this, I would think, oh my god, this is stupid humor. This is all slapstick. This is nothing. There's no substance to this. But with him, there's a charm to it, and there's a delightfulness and a sense of naivety of the situation that Paddington finds himself into. And it makes him adorable, and again, I care so much about him. This is one of the biggest recommendations I can give anyone of all ages. This film is for kids, this film is for people of a middle age, it is for elderly people. This film is for everyone. There are points where I found myself laughing out loud, which I typically don't do when I'm watching a movie at home. If anything, I might have a little chuckle here and there. There were points where I openly laughed out loud. And there are moments when you feel anger, when you feel fear. And there are such sad yet happy crying moments that I experience in this film. This ending, it had me tearing up. I had tears rolling down my cheeks. It was so happy and so beautiful. Again, there's nothing bad to say about this film, except you should watch it if you have not. Watch the first Paddington, of course, because that film is great too. Eventually, I'm sure we'll get around to talking about that one. But here, Paddington 2, watch it after seeing the first one. This film surpasses it. It doesn't degrade it in any way, but it's so wonderful. I love this movie. I'm gonna give Paddington 2 5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I think I see blue. He looks glorious.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos, where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, and we're going to be choosing from the list of recommendations that I've received from all of my subscribers and fans. So let's see what pops up. Here. John Wick 3. Perfect. Another movie that I own that I just haven't gotten around to watching, but finally, we're getting around to watching it. I love the first 2 John Wick films. I remember putting them off for a very long time because I had heard about what happened to the little puppy in the very first John Wick film, so I was like, I can't watch any of that or anything like that in movies, because I would feel so unrest. I don't want to see puppies die or get hurt. I don't want to see any animals get hurt in a film, like cats and dogs and little just adorable chipmunks. I don't care. Let's all just save them and never kill them, ever. And after getting past those, this character, John Wick, Keanu Reeves, he stumbled into something special here. because this guy kicks so much ass. So we'll check out the third installment of the John Wick franchise next time. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, leave your comment below this video or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Leave your recommendation there, and if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout out on the channel. And again, if you want me to bypass the whole random selector that I have here, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do. Just attach your movie with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it and publish my review of it as quickly as I possibly can. So guys, have you seen Paddington 2? What did you think about it? Is it better than the first Paddington? If you've seen that one as well, whatever you thought, comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of John Wick 3. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.